Hey guys, welcome to my live at lunch, which is just a little bit late. My apologies. I went out to lunch with my daughter for her birthday, and we're sitting there, and they brought the check, and I was like, oh my gosh, I missed my live at lunch. And she's like, oh, when was it? I was like, an hour and 15 minutes ago. So my apologies for being a little bit late. But I still wanted to go live today, so happy 3 o'clock. We're almost through the day, so woohoo! Anyway, so pardon the background noise. It sounds like there is a trash truck getting ready to come by. It's trash pickup day at my house. So today we are going to watercolor, and I decided to use the fall and they're Halloween images, let's just be honest. The Halloween images from the Have a Hoot stamp set. This is quickly becoming a favorite. There are some fun wintry and Christmassy, and this one could even work for a birthday. Stamps in there too. I'm not usually a fan of the multiple holidays in one stamp set sets, but this one is pretty dang cute. So, alright, so there are a couple different ways you can watercolor. So one of the ways is to use watercolor pencils, and Stampin' Up! Has two different assortments. There's assortment number 1, and it has 13 pencils in there because it's got basic gray, basic black, and whisper white, as well as some fun colors. And then there's assortment pack number 2, and it is an additional 10 colors. So I use both boxes fairly regularly. So you can just color with your colored pencils, or you can actually watercolor with them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with this top image because I wanted to do something with black. And this little spider, well, you know, black spiders. If I really wanted to get creative, I could draw a little hourglass on him, and then like good reason for the owl to be all freaked out. So we're just gonna color it in a little bit. Alright, and I've got some early espresso, and you can control how light or how dark your watercoloring becomes based off of how dark you color with your pencil. Now it also looks really cool just colored in. So, you know, we're gonna pretend like we're having fun watching paint dry while we watch me color. So we're going to do a little bit lighter right there. Just get some of this tree colored in. I think this might be the only one where I color. No, there'll be a couple where I color everything. Oh, I definitely want it to be dark underneath his little talon. So we've had a busy morning. I took the day off work so that we could hang out for birthdays, and we also went and did well checks at the doctor because I'm a fun mom like that. Happy birthday, let's go to the doctor. Alright, we're going to use a little bit of pumpkin pie color in his talons and his beak. And then I was going to make him a gray owl, but I want to make where his feathers are just a little bit darker, just add some depth in there. I'm just going to quickly color in. I try to keep these videos short, so I won't do tons of coloring today, but I wanted to show you a few techniques. Alright, so we've got that colored in. Now you have a couple of different options. You can use either a blender pen, which is awesome. It's just a white tip. This one I've been using a lot. I've been doing a lot of watercoloring actually this week. So it's actually dual-sided. So you can use either side. They're the same. Or you can use an aqua painter. So for this top one, we'll go ahead and use, I'll use both on here. So, oh, I bumped my camera. So for the aqua painter, it's just filled in with water. You can just use your water and fill it in. And then to clean off your brush, you can just color on the paper or color on your finger and it doesn't hurt. And then just go in and get my branches, because you do want to clean your brush off after each color, but you don't have to switch brushes, which is really cool. So you can get that filled in. So you're getting that watercolory look, which just kind of makes it pop a little. So you can see it watering out. And I do love the effect that watercolor brings into the different projects. I did use the Memento ink to stamp the images. Alright, so I'm just going to clean off my brush. We're going to use it again in a second. So if you use a blender pen, it's the same technique, but you don't get all of the residual water. So you just color in. I only use the one black ink to do my stamping. I can never remember which one you use for which. I have to look it up. But the StazOn is better for some things than others. All right. To clean your blender pen, you just color on paper to make the coloring go away. You can just do that in between each color. But you do get the same kind of watercolory effect. So pretty easy, pretty standard. Now, if you want to go a little crazy, you can also use your Wink of Stella. So I'm going to grab a yellow. I'm going to color in the pumpkin eyes here. We're going to use the Wink of Stella on the interior of this pumpkin. Sorry, jack-o'-lantern. If it's carved, it's jack-o'-lantern. Okay, so I've got that colored. I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and do the same thing. Just color that in, because the inside of a pumpkin, you know, it's shiny. But it does the same thing. The alcohol in the Wink of Stella lifts and it adds into, it helps smear that ink around, or the colored pencil pigment around. So you've got that. But then if you really want to go wild, hold on to your hat. You can take an ink pad and you're just going to squish it. I usually use my palms and just give it a couple good squishes and open it up. So now you've got ink color on the inside of your ink pad, which is just fine. And so that it doesn't tip, I close it up just a little bit. So make sure we can still see. All right, so I'm gonna use my aqua painter on this one. So you can use either an aqua painter or a blender pen, and you just pick up some of that pigment or the ink and you just color it on. And the more ink you pick up, the darker it will be. So we'll get that all colored in. So I am using pumpkin pie for my pumpkin because, well, pumpkin. And it is a really good orange color. I don't usually gravitate towards oranges, but this is one I really like. Pumpkin pie and mango melody. They're like some of the coolest oranges I've ever played with. So you're getting that watercolor effect. I'm trying to stay light because I'm just using regular Whisper White cardstock, and the more water you put on that, the more wrinkly it gets. So I'm just trying to get some of this inside part, but I want it to be darker. Alright, so that gives you a good idea. And again, you just wipe it off on your finger or on the paper. So normally I would color my owl. I will finish him later. Or I can do it. I can use my blender pen. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing, squish some of my ink from my early espresso. And then you can use your blender pen. You do the same thing, but it doesn't wrinkle the paper quite as much. It will stain the tip of your blender pen, but it's alright. The color, the residual color doesn't rub off. So you can just color in, maybe go a little darker around my feathers. I've been making a lot of fall stuff lately, and some of it is going to you. If you would like to receive a fun card, make sure I have your address. So I know I didn't finish those images, but those are some fun things to do. And you don't have to just watercolor on white. You can also use a different color. Oh, that's like not a great image. Switch to that one. So we've got this is crumb cake, and I watercolored on that one with a different image. I used the Celebration Tidings, and I made, oh good heavens, where did I put it? If you saw my Make a Card Monday video, that's what I made. And I don't know where I set it down. Anyway, so that is just some tips on watercoloring. You can use just straight watercolor pencils. You can use your Wink of Stella. You can use an aqua painter, or you can use a blender pen. All of them look fantastic. They're so much fun, and it adds so much to a fun to any project. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.